Hello, everybody. It's the Only the Truth Tarot. So, I want to play with the cards. I want to see whatever message comes forward. I'm not going to call it anything until I see what the cards want to say. Just trying something a little different. I don't know. I'm a Libra. I have Scorpio, I have Virgo, so many different signs in my chart that it's just like, it's like the battle of the zodiacs. But let's see what comes out. Apologize for the background noise. I have an open window and I do live in the city, so it is what it is. Clear and concise messages. You have healing. One more shuffle. I like pop-ups. Makes it easier for me. Flowering. The bottom of the deck. Okay. The Lovers. Very nice. Conditioning. Understanding. Rightness. Your mind. Well, if this doesn't depict a lot of people's mindset right now, I don't know what else will. And healing. Okay, see, you have the both hands, receiving and giving, finding balance within yourself, the way to heal the past so you could come forward to the future with the lotus flower there. Lotus meaning, growing up from or coming from all the hurt that we've all been through, finding that nice the lesson within everything, which kind of goes along with the mind here, right? The mind to us is such a trap. It's such an emotional, just like it looks there, it's just like a contraption that does nothing but make things blow out of proportion. That whole saying about, we spend 99% of your time worrying and only 1% of those things come to fruition, something along those lines. That's kind of like what it's looking like here. Like, take time to heal your mind, heal your thoughts, heal whatever has gone on in the past that has affected your thought process. And then, it's time, right? It's time. You have flowering at the bottom of the deck, and you have ordinary, I can't say that word, okay? Meaning just another day. And inner voice. I won't keep going with the rest of it, but your intuition, you've received throughout all these. Yes, I live in the city. Through all these thoughts, you start to receive what actually is the correct message that spirit wants you to have. And flowering and brightness and everything on the ordinariness means you're content. You're starting to see better things happening in your day-to-day life. You're content by yourself. You're content with whatever it is that is routine to you. And on the same token, you're evolving, right? You're evolving to a place where the routine might be a new routine, which kind of goes hand in hand with everything that's going on right now, right? So the new normal might not be the normal that we're used to, but it's gonna be the new normal. And then again, what is normal? But with ripeness here and understanding here and conditioning here, I think also the message I feel that comes forward with these is, don't be that lamb that kind of follows suit with whatever everybody says, whatever society's telling you to do. You know, you understand how you're supposed to live. You understand why the things are the way that they are, but you become that beast, you know, you become ripe. You're ready to kind of, you know, fall off the tree. You're ready to be your own and, you know, kind of like evolve, just like the other cards say, into something different. You know, you're no longer just kind of sit there and kind of watch everything, not be able to do anything, because as a fruit is ripening, right? It's just sitting there in the tree, taking the nutrients from the tree, taking the nutrients from the tree, and you know, it has no other choice but to just sit. Oh my goodness, that must be a motorcycle club outside. I'm sorry, people. Let me pause and close my window. All right, sorry about that. I had to close the window. Okay, so as I was saying, you know, how a fruit takes its nutrients from the tree, right? There's nothing the fruit can do until it's ripe before it becomes, you know, viable for a human to eat it or for animals to eat it. And if a human doesn't eat it, kind of goes rotten, right? So it's a progression to everything. So I think when you fall out of that cycle where, you know, you come to your own senses, where you no longer need to follow whatever everybody else is telling you, you become ripe. You understand how things work and operate, but you're able to make your own decisions. And then with the Lover's card here, I think it just comes down, I feel it adds on to this, where you're finding that balance, that nice happy medium in between you and everything else. Like, not necessarily like a romantic person, even though if it's a person, it's a it's a person. I'm thinking in general, like as it's you becoming one with everything, with the universe, with the things around you, with you accepting and understanding how things are. And as you heal the past, you become one within yourself. You know, you start to feel fulfilled within yourself. So, you know, you learn to love yourself. And, you know, the roses here always signify love. And if you see the imagery in the heart, in the center of the heart, it's like the lovers that are pictured out here inside the heart, they're almost becoming one, right? They're like merging together. It's kind of like a weird thing to look at, but it speaks to what I'm saying. Whereas, you know, you are able to become one within yourself. And if it's a lover that it is that this is referring to, if it's a relationship that's ripening, you know, where you're no longer following suit, maybe you have an off of the what they call the norm type of relationship, you know, maybe it's the same sex, maybe it's polygamy, whatever floats your boat, it doesn't matter. But you're starting to accept it for what it is. You're starting to see things and understand why, you know, society might feel the way that it is, but you're starting to fall into a routine with that. You're starting to accept that you are evolving. You're starting to accept the thoughts that what the universe is providing for you. So you're healing past wounds, right? You're no longer in your head about it, so you're finding peace. You know, then you have, this is weird because I have these cards in another reading, trust and schizophrenia, which is, you know, stuck in between two worlds, the heart, the wall and a hard place type of scenario. But you know what? Just trust that all your evolution, everything that you've gone through is taking you right to where you need to be, and just let go and let God, like they say. Just go for it. Even if everything is not planned and lined up, you know, right ahead of you, just take that first step. With every step you take, the next step is gonna light up. So just trust yourself, you know, trust your intuition. Trust that where you are right now might not be where you're supposed to be, and learn to move forward. Have the confidence, the love within yourself. Trust yourself, be confident, and go ahead and freaking do it. Jump, people. That seems to be, and I'm gonna go on a rant, that seems to be the the recurrent theme. I've done quite a few readings this past couple days, and I've done like the regular readings that I post between private readings and public readings, and that seems to be the theme. I think that with all the changes that have gone on in the world, with everybody kind of pausing and then now having to get going again, how things have changed, I think this has affected people's mindset as well. I think we've all starting to see things from a different perspective, and we're starting to maybe realize what's truly important, what truly matters to you versus what you thought mattered before, you know, where maybe you were caught up in you know, materialistic things, and having this whole thing where we were limited on what we could get made you realize that you don't need all these additional things. You know, they're nice luxuries, nice to have, but you're perfectly fine without them, whatever. But the thing is that we all we're all being pushed, we're all being nudged, we're all being kind of like receiving these little bits of information that's telling us it's time to evolve, it's time to move forward to the next phase of your life. Don't sit there and be, miserable at a job you don't like because you're grateful you have a job. Start looking for another job. If you're miserable where you live, start making moves so that you can find another place to live. Whatever the case may be, it might not be a move that you could make tomorrow or next week, but you might be able to start putting things in place so that you can make the move within the next couple months. But make a decision and go for it. The wishy-washy behavior that a lot of us have, I'm guilty of it, doesn't allow the universe to put certain things in motion for you. Because the minute you say, oh, like, I wanna move here, the universe might start working on getting you to move there, and then you're like, you know what, no, I'd rather be here, and so you're constantly going back and forth, so nothing comes to fruition. Make a decision and stick to it, and then just let everything come kind of like feed to it, and take the steps that you need to get to where it is that you want to get to. And once you get there, if you realize that was the wrong decision to make, you know what, again, you could do the same thing. And I know that doesn't sound like a very stable way of living, but at the end of the day, don't be afraid to make moves because you're afraid of making the mistakes, because in the mistakes is where growth lies, and mistakes is where, success lies, right? Because if you don't take a step, you're not going to know whether it was right or wrong. And with that message, I leave you guys, sending you love and light. Peace.